Okay, hello students. Today we will discuss about the multiplexer design. Okay, multiplexer is nothing but many as to one. So we have many inputs and single output, or it is also called as a data selector. Out of various datas are there, out of that we have to select one data. Okay, so multi as to one, it is nothing but the multiplexer. Okay, so multiplexer is a combinational circuit that has select inputs which will select one output. Okay, so in general there are 2 raised to n input lines and it has n select lines. Okay, so for example there is a implementation of 2 raised to 1 mux. So for 2 inputs we will have one select line. For 4 inputs we will have 4 raised to 1 mux, we will have 2 select lines. Okay, likewise you know it. So then these multiplexers can be built by using pass transistor as well as the transmission gates. Okay, now we will discuss about the how to implement the 2:1 mux using pass transistor or multiplexer. Okay, these are the diagrams. So you can see this is a symbol of 2:1 mux. You know the symbol of the 2:1 mux. It has 2 inputs and 1 output, and it has only one select line. So now you can see here, so pass transistor implementation of 2:1 mux, it has 2 transistors and control signal are nothing but the select line. It is connected like this. This is S bar and this is S. Okay, when this S bar or S line is equal to 0, means this is equal to 0. So we have to apply here S bar means you will get this is equal to 1, and so this transistor will be on. Output Z is equal to A. So that is out, and when select line S is equal to 1, so you will get this transistor will be on and output Z is equal to B. So in general we can write the equation for the output Z is equal to A into S bar plus B into S. Okay, the same we can implement by using the pass transmission gate. Okay, so this is the transmission gate implementation of 2:1 mux. So here see, that is S bar is connected here, one N type transistor and one P type transistor, one N type transistor, one P type transistor. S bar is connected here and S is at here. Okay, so again you can see here Z is equal to A into S plus B into S bar. Okay, this is the implementation of 2:1 mux using pass transistor as well as the transmission gate. Okay, then we'll discuss about the implementation of 4:1 mux. You know that in general there are, as 4 inputs are there, there will be the 2 select lines will be there. So therefore this is 4:1 mux, and you know the truth table of this. If select lines are 0 0, so S0 is equal to 0, S1 is equal to 0, 0 0, so output Y is connected to the I0, Y is equal to I0. For 0 1, output Y is equal to I1, Y is equal to I1, and likewise 1 0, output Y is equal to I2, and 1 1, output Y is equal to I3. So therefore we can write the equation likewise, Y is equal to I0 into S dash S0 dash, S1 dash S0 dash, plus I1, that is S1 dash S0, plus I2 into S1 S0 dash, plus I3 S1 S0. Okay, so this is the in general equation for the output. Now here see here, that is 4:1 mux using CMOS logic, So there are the P type transistors. It is shown on outer half side, upper half side. So these are the total P transistors. Okay, and these are the total N transistors. Now you can see here, so S0 bar, S1 bar, they are in series. Also here you can see here S0 and S1 bar in series. Same type of configuration it is on n type. So this is configuration like on p side. So here for the next, that is S0 bar and S1, you will get S0 and okay, this will be the S0 bar and S1, and the next configuration S0 S1. Okay, so likewise the n type transistors are connected, S0 S1 bar, S0 bar S1 bar, then S0 S1, and then S0 bar S1 and S0 S1. That is for p type transistors and n type transistors. Okay, so this is the simple implementation of 4:1 mux. We can convert this diagram into stick diagram. So you can see this implementation 4:1 mux using, we have discussed already, this is by using CMOS logic structure, that is p type transistor and n type transistor. Same we can implement by using transmission gate. So this is arrangement for the mux 4:1 mux using transmission gate, and this is the stick diagram for 4:1 multiplexer. See here, so this is S1 bar and S1 bar S1, S0 bar S0. Okay, so now when these two transistors are there, for this S0 bar and S1 bar are 0 0, so you will get this transistor will be on and this transistor will be on, Z is equal to I0. So likewise S1 is 0, so at that time you will get the S1 is equal to 1 and S0 is equal to S0 bar is equal to 1. At that time you will get this transistor will be on, so Z is equal to I1. So according to the truth table, we can arrange these transistors in series and we can implement the 4:1 mux. Okay, so likewise we have discussed about this. These are the p type transistors and these are the n type transistors, that is implementation of 4:1 mux. So there are p type transistors above the demarcation line, and below the demarcation line there are the n type transistors, and there will be the every combination of p type transistor, n type transistor, p type transistor and n type transistors. They are arranged like this, and this is the implementation for the 4:1 mux. Now we will go for the next configuration, that will be the 8:1 mux using 4:1 mux. You know the already, that is for 8:1 mux there are 3 select lines we required, and for 4:1 we have 2 select lines. That is for this is 4:1 mux, it has 2 select lines, and this we have to use for 2 4:1 mux to implement 1 8:1 mux. Okay, along with that we require one more, that is a 1 2:1 mux. Okay, so this is one 4:1 mux, another 4:1 mux, and we required one more 2:1 mux to implement this 8:1 mux. Okay, now so this will be the highest MSB line, so S0 S1 and S2. Okay, so if this is equal to 0, so this mux will be selected. If this S2 is equal to 1, this mux will be selected, and according to that you will get the output. Okay, so the same implementation is shown here, that is for S2 is equal to, or S2 bar is equal to 0, that is S2 bar, it is S2 is equal to 0, at that time S2 bar is equal to 1, this transistor will be on, and this 4:1 is selected. For S0 bar and S1 bar, these two transistors will be on, and then Y is equal to I0. So likewise, so for S0 S1 bar and S2 bar, this line will be active, and in this way we can implement 8:1 mux using 4:1 mux. Okay, this is about mux. In this way we can build or we can implement any type of mux. Okay, then we'll go towards another combinational circuitry is a parity generator. Okay, you know that the parity generator, so we have discussed already, that is how to detect the errors. So for detection of errors we require the parity. Is a simple technique we required to detect the errors. The technique used that is a parity bit. We have to add the parity bit along with the data bits. Okay, so depending upon the number of ones into the binary data, if binary numbers are 1, so if we count the number of ones into the data lines, that is if number of ones are even, then the even parity will be set, and at that time parity, odd parity will be equal to 0. Okay, so we have to add one more extra bit, that is the parity bit, and that will give about the information of number of ones, they are odd or even. So that bit is called as a parity bit. Okay, so a parity generator is a combinational circuit, another circuitry. So we require the parity generator circuit. Parity generator is a combinational circuitry, or it is a combinational logic circuit that generates the parity. So we know that there are two parities, that is even parity and odd parity. If number of ones are even, then parity bit will be set, that will be the 1, and if number of ones are odd, then this even parity, odd parity will be there, that will be the p bar. Okay, so here you can see here, this is in general block diagram of the parity generator. So there are n number of inputs and there are two outputs, one is a parity and complement of that parity bit, p bar. Okay, so therefore for even number of ones, if we count how many number of ones are there, if one number of ones are there, p is equal to 1, and odd number of ones, then the p is equal to 0. This is in general block diagram of the parity generator. Okay, so the parity generator, it will give parity bit is equal to 1, or it will set the bit when the number of ones is equal to even, and it will reset bit, or it will set the p bar is equal to 1 when the number of ones are odd. So we can say this is even parity and this is odd parity. Okay, then we will see basic one bit cell, single bit cell of the parity bit generator. So this is the ith unit, this is the ith block of the parity generator. It has, so parity input, data input is there, previous parity and the current parity for the next bit. Okay, we'll see general structure of the parity generator. The general structure of the parity generator, it is like this. So for n number of data are there, so if we see, this is the ith block, so ith bit is there, ith bit, for this ith bit, so this is ith bit input, and previous parity is equal to pi minus 1. Okay, and pi minus 1 bar. So these are the two inputs, our previous parity, and this is the current data, and according to that we have to take decision of the what will be the current parity. Okay, that is the pi is the parity of ith bit. Okay, so how we have to set this parity? Okay, so depending upon the current input, I or AI is the current input. So AI is the current input. If AI is equal to 1, if AI is equal to 1 and previous parity Pi is equal to P dash minus 1. Okay, so previous parity is equal to Pi is equal to, okay, sorry, so if AI is equal to 1, if AI is equal to, then AI is equal to 1, that is previous parity. If AI is equal to 1, then Pi is equal to Pi dash minus 1. Okay, Pi dash minus 1 means if a input is equal to 1, then you will get Pi is equal to Pi bar, Pi minus 1 bar, Pi minus 1 bar. Okay, that is if AI is equal to input, is equal to 1 and pi minus 1 is the previous parity and that is equal to 1, then output parity will be changed to 0. Okay, if ai is equal to 1, okay, simple here. If it is this is equal to 1, this is equal to 1, so even number of ones are there, it will change the parity, that is equal to this is equal to 1 and this is 0. Okay, odd number of even number of ones, since this will be pi is equal to 0. Okay, so likewise, if ai is equal to 0, then pi is equal to pi minus 1. So that is, if ai is equal to input is equal to 0, then pi is equal to previous parity as it is not going to change. Previous parity it will pass as it is. Okay, so the output parity will remain as a 1. Okay, so in general expression for the parity generator is equal to pi is equal to pi dash minus 1 into ai plus pi minus 1 into ai dash. Okay, so this is the in general equation for the parity generator. Pi is equal to complement of previous parity into ai plus previous parity into complement of input. Okay, so how to implement it? So to implement it, you can see that it is simple technique, that is by using ai and pi minus 1 is XORing, by making the XOR of previous parity and current input. So we can generate parity generator for only single bit. Okay, so this is the stick diagram for the parity generator. You can now see here, that is, this is pi and this is pi bar. These are the output of parity, and this is ai and this is ai dash, that is ai bar. Previous parity pi minus 1 and pi minus 1 dash. Okay, pi minus 1 dash, that is pi minus 1 bar, you can see. Now pi is equal to, so what is this? Pi is equal to, that is you can see here, pi is equal to, so what is the previous equation? That is equation you can see, pi is equal to pi dash pi minus 1 dash into ai plus pi minus 1 into ai dash. Likewise, you can see here, so these two transistors you can see here, pi minus 1 and ai, and pi minus 1 pi dash pi minus 1 bar, or pi dash pi minus 1 complement, and here ai dash. So these are in series, and we can implement this likewise. Okay, this is about the parity generator. Okay, so we'll stop today's video, and then we'll discuss in the next lecture. In the next lecture we'll discuss about the PLA and FPGAs. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can contact me on WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you.